Today we're going to do a wool felt snowman ornament, and he will have a ribbon to hang with. This example does not have a hanger, but we have instructions that show the outside stitches. The instructions tell you that the outside buttonhole stitches are the very last step in our project. The first thing we're going to do is stitches around his mitts and up to the nose. I have almost all of those done. And for the buttonhole stitch, we come up the back. This is the first one. So it's a little bit different looking than the rest of them. So from here on, I'm going to take a stitch, come up, go through my thread loop, and pull him that way, and that makes the stitch. These stitches are best uniform. It takes a little bit of practice to do that, and later in the project, we're going to be going through 3 layers of wool, and we have to adjust our stitches to be able to have the same size stitches. So I'm going up to meet the stitches I have here. And always go through your loop. And I can stop here. And to stop, you just go back down, and this disconnects your loop that you had on the last stitch. I'm going to knot it on the back. Okay. So I have stopped here, and I've stopped here, and I've stopped here. You can actually stitch all the way across, but when you do that, your stitches will be underneath the nose and underneath the scarf. And that's okay, but you don't have to do that. It saves time. So on this one, I have stitched the nose down. Let me do a nose over here. I'll take off the scarf. I don't need him right now. Okay. I have my back here, and we don't want to do the back. We just do these 2 layers. We come up from the back side. This is going to be our stitch like we did before. And you can look at your diagram and see exactly how far up to make his nose. He's more than halfway off the snowman's face. Maybe I should pin him. And I'm going to do the same thing again. Oops. Get down here. No, pin him and not this. Okay. Rethread our needle. Then I come out here. Go down this way and come back up. Make sure we go through our loop. That's something you have to do differently on the first stitch. Okay. The nose is a little difficult to do. The smaller you can make your buttonhole stitches on the nose because it has so many curves on it. It's not a straight line. So you have to make those smaller. So we're going to stitch around the nose this way. Okay, we'll go all the way around the nose, then we'll go in through the back and knot him on the back. This one has the nose. So what we do, put the wrapped part of the scarf around the snowman and the top part. And you can staple these two, the snowman to the blue background until you get it stitched and then take the staples out. Sometimes that's easier than a pin. but the smaller parts, if you staple those, it distorts them a little bit. So I pinned the scarf and I started here. I went down through here. I like to do this one first so you can know where to stop and start your stitching here and you don't have to do extra stitching. Okay, so I'm going around the curve down here. As you can tell, I'm always going through my loop to connect the stitches. Okay, we're going to complete this and then we're going to do the scarf. And after we do those, we're going to add, I'm going to stop this here. After you've stitched those, I'm just going to stop and we're going to do the snowflakes in the background. Get my scissors. All of the buttonhole stitches are 2 strands of floss. The snowflakes are also 2 strands of floss. They are French knot. That's the next thing we do after the scarf, the nose, and the edges. We're still not using our cover for the back yet. We're going to do our snowflakes. You can do these randomly or you can follow the pattern. They are not really that random in the pattern. There's, I think, more over here than over there. And if your French knots aren't consistent, that's not really a problem because snowflakes are all different. Okay, I have this knotted, and for the French knot, we come up, we wrap our thread 3 times. We go back down close to where we came up, and we pull our thread down close to the needle, but not terribly taut. And then we just pull our thread through, and we have a snowflake. So I'm not following the pattern. I'm just going to randomly do them and put them in the area I want. As you can see, they come out in different sizes. With the French knots, you need to have a good amount of floss because the wrapping movement and everything takes more of your length than just stitching. So when you get close to your needle, you need to just go ahead and add more floss. I didn't pull him down quite enough. These are large sniffles. One beside his nose. And then my floss is almost too short to do this. For that length of floss, I got eight snowflakes. Also, in this example, I did the outside edges and the edges of the snowman in blue, and this one I did them in white. You can decide which you like better. The snowflakes are also in blue over here. So we're going to say this guy's finished. With him being finished, I'm going to put the back to cover all my lovely stitches. I'm going to get a ribbon. Longer than it needs to be. And I'm going to include him. I'm going to staple him and I'll be able to remove the staples a little bit longer. To staple him from this side, so you can remove the staple after he's sewn up. Two staples. Okay. I'm going to check this one out because it only has one ribbon. To take the staples out of your felt, you can either use a staple remover or just spin them and slide them out. Okay. This is going to be on my inside. For this one, I'm going to use white for him because I used white for the snowman. It looks better consistently either way, just don't mix your blue in there. I'm going to start gonna start down here. Okay, for this one, instead of just coming out through the back, because it will show, I'm going to put my knot here and then let it come out here. So it looks like it's coming out the edge. And then this is the different layers of stuff. The stitches will be a little bit bigger. You're not coming up through that side, you're coming up this way. The bigger stitches look good around the outside just because it's not a small item like a carrot. And if your blue shows inconsistently, if it sticks out too much, you can manipulate it a little bit to tuck it in, or you can trim it. If you use the white floss, your stitches on the back, which are not as consistent as your stitches on the front, don't show. They just blend in really well. So you can concentrate more on what the front with the snowman looks like. This just kind of wraps it up all nice and rounded. If you use the lot blue, it's easier to track your stitches. And the consistency on the bag, I kind of worried about. I would look and say, how does that look? Because these are not as neat as those. So you have two things to notice on this one, but my stitches are not going to show back here. So I'm not really worried about that. So with this, you just stitch all the way around. The bigger stitches also go faster. Oops. So after you stitched around, you can remove your staple back here. And you'll be ready. And I hope you enjoyed making your snowman.